Okay, Public the band. What's up, you guys? Hello, Public.
What up, man?
Hey.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. By the way, we've never met. My name's JoJo. I'm on the air
True.
at Kiss FM here in LA, and it's about time. One of these days, when all this madness settles down, you guys have to come in for an in-person, face-to-face interview, if we're allowed to do that ever.
Interview. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I know,
We'll
man.
Sunday.
We would love to.
Hey, let me just start off with where are you guys at, and how we living? How we dealing with all this stuff?
Well, I'm chilling with my boys in public. I got Ben,
Wow.
John,
And himself.
and myself.
That's
It's crazy.
That's impressive.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
No, Matt, are you Matthew? Are you in LA, or just where are you and your backdrop at?
We all live in Cincinnati, Ohio still. So we're pretty much born and raised-ish from Cincinnati. The two boys, John and Ben, are in Norwood, which is about 20 minutes south of me. And then I'm living actually with my parents right now in a place called Harper's Point. It's right next to the high school we went to. But we're all Cincinnati. We're all just chilling, Midwest boys.
Yup.
And just being in LA, we're on the full-on lockdown. We got we can leave for hospital food, yada yada. Same for you guys, I assume, right?
Yeah, right now it is.
And that's why we're not together right now, is we're taking it pretty seriously. I know my parents personally have a lot of immune system issues, so I'm trying as best I can to keep that all out of the picture right now.
Yeah, same.
Let me jump to you, John. John, how's your family? How's everybody holding up?
We're pretty good. Kind of similar to what Matt was saying. Like, my dad, I know, has kind of a compromised immune system, and they're just older, so not really seeing them much right now. But everyone's good. I mean, everyone's healthy. My roommate is also my cousin, so I see him quite a bit. But yeah, man, I mean, for the most part, it's just more like self-control. I mean, I've been going to the grocery store to keep food here, and it's kind of it right now.
You wearing the mask around, all that fun stuff?
I don't have a mask. I have gloves. So I've been doing that. I've been rocking the like latex gloves, and I've got the hand sanitizer, but I don't have a mask. Yeah, leather gloves.
Say leather gloves.
Really
Rocking
thick
the
leather gloves.
Get the leather serial killer glove.
Right.
A
People
bunch of
stay way away from me, man.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're required in LA. This just happened, a couple of days ago. They asked us to wear a mask when we go outside. Well, first of all, they want us to stay indoors, but if we go to the grocery store or whatnot, they want us to wear the mask now, not the N95. That's for the health officials and whatnot.
That's right.
So I'm sure that's coming for you guys. By the way, I noticed before we started recording, John set his camera up to where you see this little blackboard behind him. But if he pans to his right, you'll see a big old bar full of
Wow. John, whose is that?
That guy knows how to quarantine.
I don't know. Those are decoration. I don't even know what's in those bottles.
Apple juice.
I think it's all probably water and juice.
I'm
Yeah.
sure
I haven't tried any.
It's all kombucha.
Very true. And Ben, once again, we've never met. This is our first time meeting ever on this Zoom. But Ben, I'm told, the mustache is. When you first jumped on, they were like, "Whoa, mustache!"
I know.
Yeah.
I got bored and I tried to. Yeah, I'm trying out a mustache right now. So
I got bored and I tried a mustache. Is what?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
Did you? I assume you shaved the beard portion, or did it just grow in just like that?
Yeah,
He can focus grow.
yeah. I just tried really hard. No, I had a beard for like 10 days. I let that grow, and then I whittled it down.
Whittled.
Slowly, piece by piece.
God. So once let's say this ends tomorrow, and we're back on the road. Do you go with are we going to go with the mustache, or what?
No, I'm gonna go back to normal. I don't really like it.
Howard.
But it's fun.
Oh my God! And Ben, same question to you. How's your family? How are you doing?
Good. I'm married, so it's just me and my wife here in our little house, and things are good. We're staying healthy, staying happy.
Does she like the mustache?
That's what I was wondering.
Actually, she does. She does kind of like the mustache, which
That's
surprised me.
Oh, you guys would. You guys are like in Full House or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it looks. I guess I've seen pics of you with no mustache, but my first time meeting you, now I'm always going to reference this moment. So that's going to be in my head now. So
Forever mustachio.
I'm not sure if that's good or bad or not. Hey, some random questions. Obviously, why the name Public? I'm sure you've answered this question 1,000 times. And give me some rejected band names. Like you decided on Public for whatever reason, and then you must have kicked out several names. Run me through all that.
Yeah, so the whole story there is that we were actually called Crown when we very first started, which was essentially just us picking a cool word right before we played our school's talent show back in high school. It was just yeah, that's a cool word. It's big, it's bold, people remember it. But we ended up going with Public because we kind of became a band during the indie pop craze. And a lot of bands were something to something, and it kind of just seemed like you could sort of assume their genre before you'd even heard them. You kind of saw the band name and you're like, oh, okay, I kind of know what I'm getting into with this, I think. And I think we wanted to avoid that a little bit. We wanted people to have to invest in us a little bit and sort of do some research, maybe come see a show. And also we just liked how big and bold it was. We took a lot of cues from Muse when we were younger, and we always loved how their title was big with the big lines on the top and the bottom. And so we were man, we want a big bold word that is kind of open-ended enough right now to where if we really do our thing, when it's when you say that word, people are gonna be oh, do you mean the band, or are you talking about we want to build up a word where we can take ownership over it. And so it's kind of, it's almost like a challenge. But now I think, it's I think we've just in the past, maybe year, actually, it's now, I think in a lot of circles, when you do say Public, we're getting a little bit of a shout out, which is nice. So it's just a big, bold word that we made ours, man.
That's pretty cool. Cause if you Google Public, you have to put in Public, the band, kind of like when I first, back in the day, interviewed Flo Rida. You go to, Google Flo Rida and you get Florida,
Yeah.
But now.
Did you mean Florida?
Exactly. I was going to say,
ahead.
I think the only thing I remember suggesting, because I think we reached a point where we wanted to change from Crown. That was our first name, like I said. And the only thing I remember saying is, Blue Rhino. I remember saying Blue Rhino would be kind of a cool thing, and it was literally just because of that propane company.
Yeah.
And it has a rhino with a flame for his horn, and I was like, oh, that's cool and beastly, and
we shut that down.
Yeah. It sounds like a rock band, which hey, I still think if I saw a band called Blue Rhino release a single, I would be interested. I just think it'd be cool.
I kind of like it as an album name.
Or an album name. Sure.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And now Matthew and Ben, you guys voted down Blue Rhino right off, or did you consider for a second?
No, I like that as a band name a lot. It's just
it's too late now, Laps.
It was the name of that propane tank company, and so I was like, we probably shouldn't use that.
Right. We were just getting the reason why we left Crown. I don't know if you said, John, but we were gonna face some legal issues of some sort. There was another band called Crown
Company. Yeah.
Yeah. There's two things, and then John shooting Blue Rhino into the picture is we just got done with that same scenario. I don't know if we can do that because of the propane thing.
I wanted to be called Walmart.
We looked up Public, and incidentally Public seemed pretty available, which is weird because that's you would think that word is taken, but
you would think it would be long gone, but if you would have used Blue Rhino, you could have maybe gotten free propane for life.
Our SEOs probably would have been better for sure. Fair.
Hey, I know the track "Make You Mine" is just really putting you guys on the map right now, but obviously being locked away in the house, you guys being singer-songwriters, clearly you're working on lots of stuff, because what else are you going to do, I would think.
Right.
So what can you kind of give me a little taste of, not to take the focus off "Make You Mine," but what are we doing behind the scenes musically?
Yeah.
We started. Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, we actually just announced that we're releasing another song here. It's we're kind of through the Make You Mine phase and moving on to new music finally, and that is the most exciting thing for us as a band, because we love the new tracks that we haven't gotten to release yet. And yeah, we're pretty pumped.
Are you at the
wanna-
point where
It's,
you're? Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
No,
share
I
about
was
it?
just gonna say, yeah. I mean, it's called Honey in the Summer. So it's a really really fun track that we pumped out a little while back, and we were kind of just waiting for the right time. And yeah, so we just announced the title of the song like very very recently, like just last
Right.
week. We don't have a release date out yet publicly, but we're excited for that, and also like because that's done and you're kind of saying like what are you working on, like we are still writing like remotely some of the songs that we started with some producers before this all happened.
Right.
So like we've done some Zoom calls, you know, about and like writing versus the songs, and I was recording some stuff the other day and sending it to the producer, and he's like trying to implement it. So we're trying to just, you know, crack on, I guess. We're trying to just still do the thing.
And I assume each of you have a home studio of sorts, or you're emailing tracks and vocals and whatnot back and forth, as well as to the producers and everything.
Yeah, kind of.
Man, this is like, you know, like nothing ever happened. You guys are set up perfect for this, you know.
It's
The one thing
it's
we can't
not
really
ideal, but
yeah.
Not ideal for sure.
The one thing we can't really work on is like more content stuff. So like, you know, we're trying to prep for some video stuff and maybe some photo shoot stuff, but we can't really execute that until this quarantine thing is over. So there's a lot of like moving parts that we're trying to get like, you know, cleaned up, finished up, and we'll just have to see how long this process takes. So it's
What
yeah.
were you guys, I mean, not necessarily just with music, but just in general, life in general. I mean, I think little things I used to take for granted. Going to the grocery store. Oh, there's paper towels. I'll buy me one roll of paper. I mean, little things that I just never thought twice about. I assume you guys are similar. What are some things that you will never take for granted ever again?
I know for me specifically this morning, I was actually kind of pondering on that, just because it's an interesting time, and I'm a pretty introverted person, like naturally, like I like to stay inside, and I you know, I can kind of go MIA a little bit sometimes, like, and it's because I like my alone time a lot. But I this morning was just kind of realizing like how much I miss being around some people, you know, and I miss even people that I don't know incredibly well. A guy that was on the last tour that we were just on, a tech texted me last night, and I don't even know him that well. And I was just like, man, like I just kind of miss people. So I think for me, like when I know that when I come out of this thing, I feel like I'm going to have a little bit more of an appreciation just for relationships, and maybe giving them a little bit more energy, and trying to like fight with my introverted self a little more on that, because now I know what it's like, well, you can't see that person right now, even if you wanted to. So it's
right.
It's different, you know, but I really was thinking about that this morning. So
Was it Casey that texted you?
yeah, he texted me.
He texted me too.
Yeah, he's a nice man.
He's a nice dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when I'm back home, my parents and I are out all the time. Either I'm on tour or they're in Florida, but we're both home, and I can't even like, you know, hug my mom right now because of like the fear that she might contract something that, you know, because even carriers, I haven't been tested, even carriers can like not show symptoms. So it's like the little things like, you know, hugging my mom in the morning, like, you know, hoping she has a good day. It's kind of like, I can't do that right now. Super weird.
Yeah. For me, my wife and I, one of our favorite things to do is just going out to eat. And we've like been basically cooking every single meal. And so like some of our favorite restaurants, some of our favorite experiences are like going out to our favorite restaurants, and we can't do that right now. And it just feels super weird. It's like, how many times can we, or how much we're getting better at cooking, but it only goes so far, you know?
The thought of just going, hey, let's go grab a drink, let's go grab a bite.
Exactly. Something like that.
Yeah.
It seems like such a moment, but it should be just so simple, you know? But
Yeah.
Oh my God. Speaking of, you mentioned tour. Oh, by the way, the guy's name was Casey that texts John and Matt. Did Casey text you too, Ben? Or maybe he doesn't. Does he like you?
Good point. I don't have his number. No, I didn't get a text.
Casey blocked Ben. Ben texted him too much.
Yeah, Ben's a little freaky. He's a little weird.
That
Hey,
mustache.
he'll go.
He heard I had a mustache.
Yeah, the mustache thing threw him off. Hey, what do you guys miss? I mean, when you get back on the road, you know, once again, never meeting you guys until this moment, but you seem to me like this road, like you love the live performance aspect of this job. How much do you miss being on the road and I bet you chomping at the bit to get back out.
Yeah. I mean, like with a song coming out soon, like that is what we would want to do. Is we want to go on the road. We want to hit as many fans, as many radio stations as possible to promote this guy. And I think, the first, 6 or 7 years of our career was just road stuff. Like all we knew was touring. So I think where we feel the most comfortable. So to be like, trapped in the house recording new songs is super cool. But like, I think we're all itching to play those songs again and connect with all the fans out there.
Yeah.
Hey, give me some. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Oh, and I was just gonna add, like, we're kind of living our career out right now, like just through social media, which is very not our style. We like to be boots on the ground, out there promoting, out there doing everything we can. So, and it's interesting because I know like some artists out there that don't actually play live shows. It's like they only, it's like, they develop a thing online and they release shows under that moniker, and it's like that's kind of where it stays. And like it's been a very interesting thing to think about, because like without that live aspect and without coming to see people like you in person and doing the performances and the appearances, like it really, really feels like we're missing such a huge part of who we are as a band right now.
Ben, you want to toss in on that or jump in on that?
No, yeah, it's just from day one, our whole thing was, that's the reason we became a band, was to play live shows. And like, we love to play our instruments, something that we pride ourselves on, being like a band, not like the other solo artists out there right now who just kind of like do their thing online and then like play a live show if they have to. For us, it's like, that's the primary reason that we're doing this, is playing the show. And it's just super weird that that's not allowed right now.
Could you ever envision, because I know the NBA has had talks about doing basketball games with no fans and people just watching on TV. I assume performing, I mean, clearly you can do it digitally. You guys jump just like this, fans log in, but it's just not the same. I mean, the energy is just flat. So, I mean, I guess it's something to consider, but certainly not, you wouldn't be as excited about it, I would think,
Yeah, I don't think any of us are engineering like mindset enough to like be able to set that up. I know like when we do acoustic stuff, Ben actually plays guitar instead of drums, and I play like shaker or something like that. So if you're talking about like a controlled setting, like acoustic, that's fine with us. Like if we can get in front of people, we'll do it. But if you're talking about like the live show, I mean, like Ben is an animal behind drums. I do cartwheels on stage with my bass. I don't think that would come across nearly the same way on a webcam. There would be a lot that would be missed. So yeah, I totally agree. The energy wouldn't be the same.
Just your mom in the background going.
Yeah.
No, she'd be cringing. She'd be like, "Don't hurt yourself."
I just drink. Apparently. That's
Here we go, John.
John.
I don't do flips
Behave.
or anything.
The truth comes out.
He doesn't show up half the time. He just, if he feels like it, he'll come.
Hey, let me talk about the two tracks. Of course, "Make You Mine." Once again, you've introduced this track and talked about it, at crazy lengths, But we'll probably put this song on the countdown, So which song? So give me a quick, give me some thoughts on "Make You Mine." What do people need to know about "Make You Mine"?
People need to know that "Make You Mine" is about your first love. It's about those first butterflies that you feel when you get to know somebody like that for the first time. Matt, what else do they need to know?
Yeah, I'll give some context. I mean, we ended up writing that track back in like 2013 or 14, around the same time that John actually had his first love / girlfriend. So it's a song that we kind of developed right when we started the band. And it's funny because the same people that are picking up on it right now are the same age as we were when we wrote it, which is cool that you can see that like relation between like, that was where our mindset was. That was where we were when we wrote the song. And now everyone kind of meshing with it is like the same type of people.
Yeah. The reason that the song had such a strong resurgence all of a sudden was because of TikTok. Believe it or not, TikTok made a song popular all of a sudden. And
crazy.
"Make You Mine" kind of became the romance anthem of like last year. And it's still going.
And John, I assume. Oh, go ahead, John. Sorry.
I love cutting people off on these things. No, I was just going to say, I actually think it's important to know about the song is that because the song started to get so much attention, especially with like the teenagers right now, when we played it live, it became a really, really cool moment for us to sort of like express what we believe in about love, and how like this is not a song about some sort of fleeting interaction you have with somebody. It's not about taking what you want from somebody one night. It's really about intimacy and relationship, and like because it's about a real relationship. So it's about sacrificing for somebody else and sort of putting them before you, and I just think with how quick things move in the world nowadays, I think that was a really cool thing for us to be able to like express to like younger people that are listening to the song, and just kind of encourage them. It's like, hey, ask somebody out on a date, man. Don't DM them. Like, call them, ask them on a date, go do something, get to know them. Really promote the face to face. Really promote getting to know like kind of what's inside somebody, maybe versus like figuring out, what do I need from this person right now? What can I kind of get from them? And like, if they can't really fulfill that, maybe I'll just move on. It doesn't really matter. I think it's a good song in that it's very wholesome.
A question I ask artists a lot, no names required, because that would be just crazy. But I assume your first love, your ex, knows this is about them. Have they responded? Do they like the song, or what are their thoughts?
Yeah, she definitely knows. She definitely knows that, like, because I actually played this song when the guys and I finished it. I played it for her acoustically one night, like when we were dating, and she really liked it then. And I remember I told her then, like, hey, this is very largely about you and me and what we're doing right now and like what we're experiencing. And then we did the thing with Verified with like Genius, where I talked about the song in depth with each lyric. And I actually did get a text from her after that, and she said, hey, like, I really appreciate you kind of speaking so honestly about the relationship. And honestly, I think she just said, like, thanks for being nice about it, because it's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, it's about my ex, they suck. It's like, no, it was it was my first relationship, and it was a good time. And like, she's a great person. It's not like I have weird, like, negative things to feel about that anymore. So yeah, so she knows. I don't know what that, yeah, that's how people react. No, she knows. She knows.
That's cool. Hey, the new song you guys are about to release, give me the title of that one again and some details on that.
Honey in the Summer. And we've been doing #hits right now, which we found out later is pretty much, yeah, exactly right.
Oh my God.
But we ended up, this would be our first release. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about like the formation of the song if you want to talk about what it's about. This is our first release, I think, under the label too. That's a co-write. So we ended up co-writing this with John Fields. He was a friend of our manager's, Kevin Jonas Sr. And he is a producer behind like Burnin' Up. Thank you, John. Burnin' Up by the Jonas Brothers. He did a lot of, I think a ton of the Switchfoot stuff. Beautiful Letdown was a huge record that he did. And we played him some demos, and he was like, I think I jive with this one the most. Let's crank on it. And the song was done like within like a day or two. And it was a project that John and Ben brought to the table. I think Ben put down a really funky groove on guitar, and then John wrote a song around it and then brought it to the table. And that's how most of our songs work, is like John will write a song, I'll write a song, Ben will write something, or we all three jam on it and then bring it to the table. But it's never a public song until we kind of all have a crack at like bass or drums or guitar. But I mean, it came together super quickly, felt super groovy and good. Really, really great sunshiny vibes for like a summer single. Very, very excited to have it out.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to note too that since we just talked pretty in depth about Make You Mine, like that song sort of became this song for relationships, and for dating, and it kind of even people that aren't in relationships, it seems to give them this really romantic feeling, and it's like, oh, I wish I was in a relationship.
It's people are always talking about, it reminds them of, or it makes them think of their crush. It's all about this song is for my crush, blah blah blah. Yeah,
right. And Honey in the Summer kind of came around a time like when Ben and I kind of first started it. We were both single, so this is post Make You Mine. This is like after that whole era. And we were both just like single boys, and we wanted to write a song about what do you do when everybody else is like with their person in the summer. It's like, oh, you drive around and you listen to music and you just kind of have fun by yourself. You pick your favorite record and you just go take an awesome drive. So it's kind of cool. It's like this song I think is maybe it's for everyone, but I think it's fun for people that are single. So
and can drive. We don't
And
want
can
people
drive.
driving that can't drive.
I want 10-year-olds sneaking into the car like,
come out of here, Mom. I totally forgot you guys were managed by Kevin Jonas Sr. I love all the Jonas guys are great. And Kevin Jonas Sr. and his wife Denise, right?
Yeah. He was go ahead.
Oh yeah, but they my daughter's 11 now, but when my wife was pregnant, we bumped into them backstage at a Jonas show, or maybe it was some sort of a music award show, whatever it was. And for some reason, my wife blurted out to them, I guess we felt so comfortable talking to them, that they're one of the first people we told that we were having a kid. So they're just good people, man. Just real good people. My wife is from Gastonia, North Carolina, which their restaurant is really close somewhere over there, I believe.
Nellie's. Yep. That is where we had our very first meeting before he started working with us.
No kidding.
He was a very, very huge part in Make You Mine. When it started blowing up on TikTok, the boys and I saw it like starting to trend on Spotify. We're like, oh, that's super cool. And then we're going to focus on releasing a new track. And Kevin was like, hey, hold on. This is really, really huge. This is really important. Let's stop everything and follow Make You Mine and see where it takes us. So we would not have had that kind of pursuit of Make You Mine in any capacity without like his intel, pretty much, his advice.
Very cool. Well, before I let you guys, go, because I know you're so busy at the house, doing quarantine things. Doing stuff.
Important stuff.
I am, you probably don't know this about me, but I'm obsessed with the paranormal. Ghost, UFOs, all that stuff. I've got a podcast called Paranormalish. I've got some other projects just popping up in that world. I'm off the deep end in that space. So do you guys, have you ever had a paranormal encounter of any, oh my God.
Space.
Have you ever had a paranormal encounter of any sort? Ghost, UFOs, sleep paralysis, something. Let me throw that out there and see if anything comes back. Have you guys?
Sleep paralysis for sure.
I have a story.
Do it.
Let's go.
All right. I don't know what this means. I do not attribute this to any supernatural or demonic or anything like that. I'm just going to tell you what I experienced. So it was one night. It was when I was a young teenager, like probably like 13 maybe. And I was living with my parents. My parents live in a big house. It can get kind of creepy. And one night I couldn't sleep. And so I woke up and I sort of felt like I heard this like movement outside my door. And I slept in this room that was kind of at the end of a big hallway. So if you opened my front door to my room, it's like you saw this big dark hallway. And I remember, this is very creepy, but I woke up in this bed, just kind of sat up, and I was like, God, like I can't sleep. It feels weird right now. And I'm like not spooked by I'm a horror movie fan. Like I don't get scared by stuff. But my door like went, just kind of creaked open, and I'm a door shut sleeper. I am not a door open sleeper. Okay. So that right there, I was like, okay. And I remember just staring at my door, and as I was about to get up, okay, I saw what I remember as, and this is a memory, so it's probably got some weird effects going on in my mind, but long, really ratty, gross black hair kind of just dangle through the door for a hot second, and then it shut really freaking hard. And I remember I jumped out of my bed and I opened the door, and there was nobody there. And I ran down to my parents' room, which was at the other end of the hallway, and I was flipping out. And I was flipping out. And they were my mom specifically was like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, my door just slammed. I thought I saw this like hair hanging through it. Like somebody was like I can't explain it. But to this day, I will never not remember that, like the visual of what I saw in the weird, like dark lighting. Like, I don't know what it was, man, but that is my
wow.
It was my mom.
It was your mom.
But I will never forget that. I actually have not talked very much about that. But it is like my one thing that I will never not remember that, like, because it was so potent. It was weird.
I've never heard that from you.
You guys have never heard that story?
No, I haven't.
Nope.
As I told you, man, it's a weird one. I think I told my family members, and I've told like a few other friends when they specifically have said, "Have you ever had a paranormal thing happen?" And like that's my thing. That's my one.
Now,
thing.
is there a history to the house or any sort of backstory to the house that, or haven't done that research or?
I don't think so. I don't. I mean, not that we know of. You know, I mean, I have little sisters too, and like I think they've got a few things of like like I feel like some weird stuff maybe happened one time. I don't remember what they were, but like I think all of the kids at one point have experienced like a little bit of something weird in the house. But it's a beautiful house though. Like I have nothing but love for the house. Like it's where I grew up basically. So it's not a weird house, but apparently I don't know. Apparently something weird happened.
It sounds
Sounds
like
weird.
the girl from it sounds like the girl from The Grudge or The Ring. I forget which movie. Like,
I pictured Grudge. Yeah,
That's what it was like. It was like this weird, really ratty, like. But then the door just shut, and I was like, "What the heck is that?" Like,
that's crazy.
That was me before I knew you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next time when we get you guys to the studio in person one of these days, we'll go in depth on that. Maybe we can kind of do some research on the area and see if there's anything kind of crazy. It's piqued my interest now. You saw the Ring girl, you know?
I think so.
I don't know what I saw, man, and I hope I don't see it again. I haven't. So,
man. Well, guys, it's a real pleasure to meet you. I wish you guys the best. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'm a fan. Thank you for a couple of minutes.
Man. Likewise,
Thank you, man.
Dude.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.